Parekh, let me come to you first. Sajid just articulated what those guidelines say that SEBI's put out this evening. What our sources from within the stock exchange community are saying that if the Bimal Jalan committee said no listing, these guidelines make it perhaps impossible for a listing to actually go through. Your first comments as far as the listing guidelines are concerned?
I wouldn't agree with those people, because I think it does kind of make things, there is a bit of micromanagement, there is a bit of over-regulation, but I wouldn't say that at all, that this kind of indirectly prohibits listing. I think it
So you don't believe the guidelines are prohibitive when it comes to listing of stock exchanges?
No, not at all.
Deena Mehta, would you agree? Do you believe these listing guidelines are prohibitive in nature, or do you believe that these will actually allow entrepreneurs to actually set up stock exchanges?
Yes, definitely. I think the kind of guidelines which have been given, they are making it listing a very doable, especially those exchanges which are already in existence. For them, it's not going to be very difficult to list. And as Sandeep rightly pointed out, that it is micromanaging everything, you know, where you will put your profit, who will be on the board. Now, if these are going to be, from the corporate governance point of view, if it is going to be a for-profit company, just because it is an exchange, I think putting all these kind of restrictions defeats the whole purpose of making it a for-profit company. So I think...
So Deena Mehta, can I ask you directly, do you believe that these guidelines will lead to over-regulation?
Yeah, definitely it is going to be over-regulation, because you want it to be treated like any other company in the Indian corporate sector, and if it is like any other company just because it is doing business of stock exchange, that doesn't mean that so much of management is required, so much of I would say permissions, etc. Of course, when it comes to main thing about clearing corporation and ensuring integrity of the payment system and the settlement system, those restrictions are understandable. But on the business of trading, I do not know whether so much emphasis on management is required. What is more required is surveillance and other things which SEBI is as it is doing it, and it has nothing to do with the management, and those activities are being done independently.
Sandeep, the guidelines very categorically state that the regulatory role would be reporting directly to an independent committee. Now, exchanges, my sources and exchanges are very categorical about that. There is no Chinese walls which exist in stock exchanges. So how is the exchange going to achieve that the regulation, listing and surveillance will directly report to an independent committee without having a conflict of interest?
I don't see that as a huge challenge. Firstly, I think Chinese walls already do exist. It's I'm not sure who you spoke to, but surveillance certainly does not speak to everybody in the exchange. There are very strict, even within SEBI, for instance, the surveillance department is fairly kind of stays by itself. It doesn't share too much things. It's on a need to know basis. So some Chinese walls already exist. I think what needs to be done is they need to be bolstered, number one. And number two, I think they've got new mechanisms in place that you need to report. There's a reporting structure, who you report to, independent directors, this committee, etc. So I think all of these are very, very doable. They are slightly painful, but that's true of all corporate governance.
So Sandeep, I want to pick up on that point that you brought up, and when you asked Sajid, which were the exchanges that he spoke to, Sajid, I want to put this question to you: is there unanimity across stock exchanges as far as the opposition to these guidelines is concerned?
Well, officially they are happy that the guidelines are out, and unofficially they are unhappy, and that's primarily because of a lot of issues which are there. One is the conflict of interest issue, the other being transfer of 25% of profits to SGF. So that while it might be easier for the existing exchanges, but for new exchanges it would be a difficult start because they are not profitable. They are also, some of the exchanges are also saying that how will a new investor come in and set up a new exchange if you're going to cap profit. Not only that, you're telling the investor to bring down the stake to 5% within 3 years. So where is the interest, or what is the kind of interest will entrepreneur have to come and set up a new exchange? So it basically leaves a lot of questions unanswered.
Deena Mehta, we've discussed the regulatory and the profitability issues where you clearly feel that this is a case of over-regulation, but even as far as executive compensation is concerned, and once again, Sajid picking up from his exchange sources, saying that it will be very difficult to attract talent as employees' salaries will also be regulated. Again, do you believe that perhaps this is an area where, there could have been less regulation?
See, so far as salaries are concerned, even the Prime Minister of India is appealing to take a look at the salaries which are being paid to the corporate chiefs. So, and fact that it is regulated, that does not mean that it is going to be a low salary and people cannot be attracted. I think the very fact that the huge challenge and the kind of excitement that management of an exchange poses, I think remuneration should not really be a big deterrent to getting talent, because I am sure that people who come into the doing of the exchange business, those are the people who really like the challenge, and the motivation is very large. It's a huge company and you have such a broad canvas to work in. I think remuneration should not really hamper any talent issue. So I think according to me, the fact that SEBI would approve the remuneration, that does not mean that it is going to be peanuts. So I think this will evolve over a period of time, and I do not see personally that it would be any major deterrent to the management of exchanges.
Sandeep, this entire regulation also takes into account that MCSSX issue, right? In the sense the warrants, they're talking of balance sheet, off-balance sheet equity, restricting it to 5%.
So anyway, I usually don't comment much on MCX because I represent them, but it's kind of in that particular example you gave, they've already undertaken to the court that together they're going to hold 5%, so it's not really going to impact them. But these are not new regulations. Let me state that these have been around since 2007, which is the 5% and later the 15% cap which was introduced. So nothing new has come in terms of ownership restrictions. Just to kind of go back to your last point, there's a small correction on ESOPs, etc. It's not correct that everybody cannot be given ESOPs. It's only senior key management personnel, and I think overall, as Dinaben said, there's no restriction on the amount of the quantum. You can still pay fancy salaries. There's no restriction whatsoever. I think there are new checks and balances in place.
So on balance, if I were to ask both Dina and you, Sandeep, let me start by asking you, because I had a brief conversation with Mr. Jalan just a short while ago, and he said that they've done a marvelous job, even though they may not have accepted a lot of his recommendations, but he said that SEBI has done a marvelous job. Would you agree with that?
I think I wouldn't call it a marvelous job, but certainly all the potential damage which could have come from accepting the Jalan committee report has not come true, which is, I think, a great thing by itself. And in fact, Mr. Jalan himself, in a CII meeting which I attended, he himself said that issues like listing should be relooked at. So I think in a way he had conceded that several of the recommendations he himself made should perhaps be relooked at.
Dina Mehta, your final comments as far as these guidelines are concerned?
I think when demutualization was done, listing was something which was promised. It was part of the scheme of demutualization which was there. Jalan committee report was an aberration, and I think that aberration has now been removed, and the original framework in which the entire demutualization was done, that framework has been restored. Of course, there are checks and balances, and I am not too worried about them, because whenever the regulators let go, they try to hold on to a lot of things. But seeing how SEBI has been working in the past few years, I think once we test the concept and a lot of exchanges come about getting listed, I am sure that practicality will prevail, and we would have a very sensible and a practical system that I am very sure about.
All right, so the Jalan committee recommendations, perhaps an aberration, and SEBI has come out with sensible guidelines. That's the view coming in from our panel this evening. Dina Mehta, Sandeep Parekh, Sajit Mangat.